It started with a big bang, the origin of Earth, you, and everything else, by Floor Ball and Sebastian van Doninck. This is Earth. We live on a bright blue ball floating in space. Our planet is full of humans, animals, and plants, and we all live together in a big, tangled web. It hasn't always looked like that. This is what the universe looked like a long time ago, long before we were here. There's nothing. See? Nothing. No earth, no sky, no darkness, and no light. Well, not exactly nothing. In all that nothing, there's one small something, a seed, that will grow into everything else. It's a tiny hot dot that holds the entire universe inside. And just like that, the tiny hot dot explodes with a big bang. But it isn't really a bang because there's no sound. The universe is silent. The dot blows itself up like a bubble, but the space inside is still empty. Now it's time for the universe to fill up. Here is the universe. Look how much is happening. Stars, moons, and suns are spinning all around. Nothing stays the same because everything is moving all the time. Sometimes stars even explode. The explosion leaves gas and stardust behind, and pieces of ice and rock too. They go soaring through space in every direction. Near the sun, some of the gas, stardust, and rocks stick together, forming a ball. The ball grows bigger and bigger until it is a small planet, planet Earth. Chunks of ice and rock keep raining down. One of them crashes into Earth. A piece of the ball breaks off. The small piece of the ball becomes Earth's moon. At first, our ball planet is so hot that water turns into gas. Some of the rocks melt, creating a core of molten heat at the center of the ball. Over millions of years, Earth cools down and a hard crust of rock forms around the hot core. Slowly, Earth reaches the perfect temperature for water to remain water. That's how this planet becomes Earth. The sun is shining and the moon is set in the sky. It's time for something to grow down below. This is Earth. It has seas and volcanoes, even underwater volcanoes. The rest of the planet is empty. Water covers most of the Earth. Strong winds blow and huge waves crash onto rocky islands. This is no place for something to live. But then, something does come to life. Something that likes rough waters. It's almost impossible to see. It has no head, no eyes, and no legs. But it exists. Then one becomes two, and two becomes many. This little bit of life changes and adapts. It becomes the green seaweed in the water, the sponges in the sea, and the moss on the rocks. Earth keeps changing too. The land is still bare, but the sea is full of life, and it's about to get more crowded. This is the ocean, a very big sea. Many fish and animals live here together. They all want the same thing, to eat and not be eaten. There's plenty of food for the small fish, and as for the big fish, they eat the small fish. Sometimes, one fish has a special offspring, babies that can bite extra hard or that have strong fins, almost like legs. Those babies are lucky enough to eat more and escape being eaten. Special offspring live together so they can have more babies. Sometimes those babies have the same luck. They live longer too, and so do their offspring and their offspring's babies. The entire family adapts, and a new species develops. Slowly, generation by generation, Many of the animals in the ocean change. Some fish even develop real legs. The ocean is full, but the land is empty. The fish with legs can see the land from the water. They're ready to take their first steps. This is land. Trees and plants grow, and animals live here too. Some stay small, but others grow big. Some become the biggest animals ever, dinosaurs. A dinosaur's toe is as big as a turtle. Reptiles and bees fly through the sky. Starfish share the oceans with giant sharks. Sometimes it's hot, and sometimes it's freezing cold. In some places it rains, but in others it's dry. No matter what, the animals find food. They eat plants and one another. It's a big tangled web. But suddenly, a giant rock crashes down from the sky. Bang! After the impact, gigantic dust clouds cover the sun. Everything is dark and cold. Hardly any plants survive. Only the small animals can find food to stay alive. Tough breaks for the dinosaurs. Their time's up. Now what will live on Earth? This is Earth, millions of years later. The dust clouds have cleared and the sun shines. Trees, plants, grass, and big tangled web is alive and growing. New animals live here, including a kind of ape. Some of these apes live in the forest to live on wide, grassy plains. They spend a lot of time searching for food, so walking on all fours isn't practical anymore. The apes adapt very slowly, but eventually they begin to walk upright on two legs. They eat plants and they eat meat too. They make tools out of stone, knives and axes for hunting, and they make fire to cook the animals they catch. Eating cooked meat and thinking hard to create tools makes their brains grow bigger, so they get even smarter. Their paws become hands and feet. They lose most of their fur on their bodies. These apes are smart enough to make plans and solve problems. They can even talk and draw. Now they've become a new species of the ape family, humans. It's time for something completely different. This is the new world humans are building. They travel all over, searching for places to live and make a home. They harvest plants and raise animals. Humans keep learning. They invent the wheel and the cart so they can travel even farther. They develop a written alphabet so they can learn to read and write and share what they know with each other. After many years of traveling, inventing, and building, humans now live all over. They live close to one another in cities or far away from one another on farms and islands. In these places, they build. Roads, bridges, and homes are everywhere. Humans can do more than they ever dreamed possible. They dig up dinosaur bones and dive to the bottom of the deepest oceans. They even fly to the moon in rockets and wave to the people back on Earth. This is Earth, a bright blue ball floating in space. We live here in a big tangled web. Humans, animals, and plants living together, and it all started with a big bang.